Chapter 4. Change of Era Part 3. Many would like to steal my father's invention. However, I needed them for the quest, which is why I never gave them the secret key or the latest construction plans. Ferwins and David Brindel looked at each other dumbfounded. Their faces wore a ridiculous expression, and they seemed to feel naked in the middle of a stage, having no way to hide from the huge crowd that was harassing them with laughter and jeers. Eva continued saying, "In spite of everything, I must admit that I have been wrong, since you have shown affection for my father and have earned my trust. Here you have the key and the final plans. There will be no more secrets, and we will share everything from now on." Charts and David's eyes unconsciously turned to the left. If I had asked them to tell the story of their father's disappearance in detail, it would have been easy to see through the lie. Tristan gave a bitter bark in protest, but she only stroked him without understanding his message. The human being who remembers lets his gaze go to the right, but when inventing, creating, or lying, uses the left part of his brain, orienting his gaze in that direction. Eva was unaware of all these details. Even so, the expressions of both were notorious. The plan and the key were for Charts and David's succulent lollipops of candy that, like children, they had waited for so long. "Come on, Tristan. We must finish assembling this ship as quickly as possible. My father is waiting for us somewhere." Eva retired to her apartment, leaving Charts and David alone, who looked at each other smiling and then hugging in triumph. "I told you, Charts, the plan had to work. By gaining their trust, everything is much easier to achieve our goal. Your plan was perfect. Now we must find Miller wherever he is and send him, his daughter and his flea-ridden dog to hell." They poured 2 glasses of a fine liqueur and made a toast to their triumph. "This liquor is very good. Soon we will have as much as we want, because now we are the owners of the greatest invention in history." "I'm sure we will, Charts, but we must be very careful with the plan. First let's kill Dr. Miller and then travel back in time to eliminate his parents before they have spawned him, so there will be no trace of his existence." "I'm really surprised by your malice, David. You have it all perfectly calculated. I'm even afraid you want to get rid of me too. I would never let that cross my mind. What would I do alone with success without a friend to share my plans? We have known each other since you were in the cradle and I was in the incubator. We grew up and studied together, met our wives at the same university, married in the same church, and were even widowed in the same accident. We held on to the possibility of changing history, and that's how we met Dr. Burton Miller. We have dreamed about this ever since we discovered his excellent idea of going back in time. The Finding the Origin program is our shared treasure. I would never take that right away from you. If there is one thing in this life that I respect, it is our friendship. You are the only person I would not kill to achieve my goals." David was motivated, and after giving his friend a hug, he raised the glass saying, "This is for our friendship, and because the plan to gain Ms. Miller's trust is now complete. Cheers. Do you think we should carry a special weapon in case it is found in the future?"
Charts interrupted.
"Miss Miller has the exact date where we will be looking for it, so it will be hard to know before then." "That's right. As soon as she informs us of the date, we'll bring the perfect weapon to kill the whole Miller family." Unsuspecting, Eva was in her apartment talking quietly with her pet. "You know, Tristan, I'm really glad I was wrong about David and Charts. I admit it, they're weird people, but they're good." Tristan let out a whimper as if he was regretting what his owner was saying. He put his front paws on top of his muzzle, somewhat frustrated. Eva was concentrating on the exact calculation to get to the moment her father traveled, and then add up the 5 years that had passed with the months, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds that had passed since then. If I found him sooner or later in a parallel time in both dimensions, there was a possibility that I would use the ship and find myself, theoretically causing a molecular self-destruction by their fusion. Eva knew this was only a theory, but decided to take every precaution. Shortly thereafter, together with David Brindel and Charts Ferwins, they completed the assembly of Genesis 2, bringing back to life the Searching for the Origin project, which Burton Miller had started years earlier based on Einstein's theory of relativity and some studies on black holes.